Hello friends, welcome to AutoCAD tutorials. In today's tutorial, we will look at layers and its properties in detail. So before starting, first of all, I would like to tell you about layers. For example, in this drawing, we have many objects like this hatch, text, dimensions, here blocks and many other things. Now, in order to arrange all these objects in this drawing in a proper way, we use layers. Here we have our layer ribbon. When you click on it, you will find a long list of layers. We have classified all objects on different layers. For example, text. So all the text which are in this drawing has been placed on this text layer. DIM for dimensions. So all the dimensions which you will find in this drawing are on dimension layer. So what are the advantages of layers? I'll show you in brief what the actual advantage or what the advantage in broad sense this layer has. For example, here we have text layer and this one is off icon, on or off. Once you click on this icon, all the text from this drawing is no longer visible and we have a clean drawing without any text. For example, if you want to turn this dimension off, so go to DIM, turn it off, and now you'll have a layer without text and without dimensions. So in a broader sense, you can say that we can classify a drawing or we can differentiate different objects of a drawing with the help of layers. So it's a very handy tool while drawing, and you can control its visibility and other features from this drop down menu also. So let's start friends with our layers tutorial. Now this small icon shows layer properties manager. Click on this icon and you will find layer properties manager like this. This is a small window that will pop up is called layer properties manager. As you can see here, we have these small icons here which shows different states of layer. Currently we are on 0 layer with its status active, and these are the status currently related with 0 layer. Now we will try to make some changes on this layer and we'll create new layers and delete them and do some changes with them also. So let's start with this icon first. This icon is new layer. If you wish to create a new layer, click on this icon and a new layer will be created with default name layer 1. You can rename it with any name. Here I have renamed it with ABC and click anywhere else on screen to accept that value. You can click on it again and a new layer will pop up. Now you can rename it with any other name like XYZ, like this. Now in case you don't want any layer, you can delete it also. This icon here, it's for deleting a layer. Just click on it and your layer will be deleted like this. For example, you have this XYZ layer, click on this and it will be deleted. So let's make 2 more layers, layer 1 and layer 2. Now this is small tick icon. This icon is used to make our layer current layer. That means whatever we draw will appear on that layer. Currently we have our 0 layer as active layer or current layer. We can change this status with this arrow icon. Just select your layer which you want to create as a active layer and click on this icon. Now layer 2 is active layer and whatever you draw will appear on layer 2. Now we have all these other icons here. We'll see them one by one. At first here you will see on, off. But before looking at these icons, let's draw some objects on these 3 layers. So first I'll go to layer 0, make it active and make a circle on it. Next I'll go to this layer, make it active and create another object, a rectangle on this. Now I'll go to our third layer, make it active, and I'll make a triangle on it like this. Now go to Layer Properties Manager. Here you can see all three objects. Once you click on this icon that is on or off, the object which this layer contains will vanish from screen. For example, layer 1 contains this rectangle. So once we click on this, your rectangle will no longer be visible on this screen, and this bulb turns into gray color. When you click on it again, it will appear here like this. If you attempt to turn off your current layer, then a warning message will pop up that will show whether you want to turn off your current layer or not. You can go ahead by turning off this layer like this. Now whatever you will draw will not appear since the layer is already off. So I have drawn an arc here, but as you know that it's off, so we can't see it. Once you turn it on, and you'll see your objects. Now here is second icon, that is freeze. Freeze is visibly having same effect as on and off. Once you click on freeze, your object will disappear, but along with disappearing from screen, the object will also disappear from computer's memory. That means your PC will no longer read this layer, and the processing of AutoCAD drawing will be much faster by freezing a layer. So it will vanish a layer from screen and its memory as well, like this. Now let's come to lock. Once you lock a layer, its color diminishes and you won't be able to make any changes on that object like this. When I click on it, no grips are apparent here, but our layer 0 and layer 2 objects are still on. So once you click on it, you are still able to make changes in them like this. So when you turn it on, then you can make changes on that object as well. Now next icon is for color. It's simple. Just you can specify color of your layer. Just click on the color, and object which are on that layer will be applied with that color. All the objects. For example, in layer 2, click on this and apply green. So these two objects which are on layer 2 will be applied green color. Next is line type. Just click on this. Here we have only one line type, that is continuous. There are no other line types loaded on this screen. So we'll load it. Let's load ISO dash and make it our current line type. Now object on this layer will be of ISO dash line type. You won't be able to see this effect because the scale is different. Now you can see this effect. This is ISO dash line. Similarly, you can change line types of different layer in same manner. Now line weight. You can actually change width or weight of a line with this toolbar or with this icon. For example, I am selecting the 0.50 line weight for layer 0. Now object on layer 0 will have a 0.50 line weight, but you won't be able to see it unless you turn on LWT, that is show height line weight. Once you click on this, you'll be able to see line weight of your object. Now let's change it to a bigger value like this. Now next icon is transparency, and you can set transparency value from 0 to 90. 0 means opaque and 90 means maximum transparency for the particular object. So in this case, I'll select a transparency value of 60, and let's see the change. Here currently the line weight has been applied to 0.90 and the transparency is 60. Again, transparency will not be visible unless you click on this TTY status toggle, that is show high transparency. Once you click on it, your circle will diminish and it will turn to a transparency of 60. Similarly, you can apply a transparency in layer 1 also. For example, I am applying a transparency of 80 and then see this object. It has diminished. Now next icon is plot. Once you click on this icon, object on this layer will not be plotted or printed on a sheet of paper. Although you will be able to see objects on your drawing screen, but they won't be plotted. So when you click on it again, it will be plotted again. Now here is our last icon, that is new viewport freeze. If you click on this icon, then objects will not be visible in our layout viewport. So let's go to layout viewport for layer 1. In layer 1 we have drawn this object. Better we'll just freeze this layer. Now it has got two objects and we have frozen its viewport. Now let's go to layout, and here you will see that our breathe object is not visible. We have two objects on layer 0 and layer 1, but the object on layer 2 is not visible here. So let's go to model space again. Okay, so these are the general layer tools. We are still missing this tool. We are still missing this one. So let's see what it does. Once you click on this icon, it will create a new layer with all properties inherited from the previous layer. But this last property is different. I'll just make it normal and then click on this. Now I'll click on this icon and a new layer will be created with properties inheriting from layer 1. Just click on this and a new layer, layer 4 is created with similar properties, but this last property is different. Here this layer is already frozen in all viewports. So whenever you draw any object on layer 4, it will be visible in this model space, but when you go to layout space, it won't be visible. For example, let's change its color to magenta and make a circle. Okay, I just forgot to make it current layer. Make it current one and make a circle. Now as you can see that this has been made with transparency 80 and all these properties, and this one is visible here. Let's click on this. It will be visible in a much better way, but its viewport is frozen. So let's go to its viewport, and there you won't find that object here. So our layer 4 object is not visible because it's already frozen in its viewports. So these were all layer tools, the normal layer tools which we generally use. Now let's go to our layer filters. Whenever this layer list becomes too large for large projects and drawings which are having so many layers, we may need to have a system that will manage all our layers. For that, here we have layer filters. So let's see about layer filters, but we'll see it on a different drawing. Now go to this. In this drawing, I have already created many layers with different properties assigned to each layers like this. Now let's first create on this icon. First click on this icon, new property filter. Click on this, and here you will find a window pops up showing layer properties filter. Now first you need to enter the file name, the filter name for your filter. Let's say our filter name is red. Now we want to make a filter which contains all the layer with its color red. For that, I'll go to color and click here. Once you click on this small icon pops up. Click on this and select red and press OK. Now you can see only those layers which have red color in it. Press OK, and here you have your new filter containing only red objects. To go to all layers, just click here. Here you will find all your layers. Let's go to this filter again. Now this time we'll create a filter containing all layers which are off. So I've renamed it to off and click here. Here you will find two filters, on and off. I'm selecting off. Now these are the three layers which are off and press OK. So this filter contains all objects which are all layers which are off. In a similar way, you can create as many filters as you like with different properties like lock, plot off, and all these other properties. Let's see one more thing. If you want to create a layer property filter such that all the layers on that filter starts with letter say B or H. So I'll make a filter with layer starting with letter H. So let's rename it to H. Now go to name, click on this, and after that click H. As soon as you type H, all the layers that start with H will appear. Click OK, and here you will have a new filter with layers starting with H. But what if you have to create a layer in which second or third number or third letter is specific? For example, we want to make a layer property filter containing layers having third letter O. For that, click on name and put these question marks for first two letters. These question marks indicates that first two letters can be anything for that layer filter, and then click O. Now as soon as you do this, AutoCAD will make a filter containing all those layers which have their first two letters as anything but third letter O. Here you can see this thing, and this is star shows that letters after O can be anything. Now click OK, and here you have your filter, new property filter. Since I have not renamed it, so let's rename it to X and O. So you have this filter here. In a similar way, you can create property filters, as many filters as you like. Now here is another category of filter that is called group filter. This group filter is a little bit different from your property filter, as while filtering with this property filter you need to specify properties for each layer, but in group filter you don't need to specify properties. All you need to do is just drag and drop your layers. I'll show an example here. First go to all used layers. Now here you'll find all your layers and make a new group filter, and let's rename it to 1, 2, 3. Now we want to put some specific layers in this filter, so click on this, drag it and drop it on 1, 2, 3. Now this hatch, drag and drop, this window, and this DIM. Now go to this. So you will find all these 4 layers which we have selected manually with no specific properties. As you can see here, they have all properties different. They don't have anything in common. If there is anything in common, that is our selection. So in this way you can create a group filter. You can see that this icon is also slightly different from the icons that has been used for property filter. Now here you will find a small icon in word filter. Once you click on this, all the objects that are not under the selection of that layer will appear. For example, let's go to red and here you will find all layers which don't have a red color. Once you click on this invert filter, you will find all layers containing red color. For example, just go to off. Here you have all the layers which are off. Now click on this. Now you will find all layers which are on. So basically the filter is inverted when you click on this icon. So that was all for layers. Thank you guys for watching.